Lisa Blackpink stepped out of the lights and into something bigger than fashion tonight. Moments ago, she arrived in Singapore, and just behind her, standing in the shadows, Frédéric Arnault was seen too. Through Louis Vuitton's Spring-Summer 2026, the world was still buzzing. But now, whispers are turning into something undeniable. Did Lisa Manaban fly to Singapore just hours after her Louis Vuitton show? And why is the heir of LVMH suddenly in the same picture? You could call it coincidence, but in the world of luxury, coincidences don't exist. You see, Lisa isn't simply a brand muse or a guest at shows. She is becoming the living pulse of how luxury operates in 2025 and beyond. This trip, this meeting, it feels like a trigger event, a moment that shifts narratives behind the curtain. As the cameras swarmed outside the arena earlier today, few noticed the tail of a private jet's engine in the background, a quiet hint that something was already in motion. Walking through the airport terminal in Singapore, Lisa's entourage wore minimal logos, carrying only essentials. Yet the aura around her was heavy, not just as a K-pop icon, but as a walking thesis in brand value. Every camera click reverberates across millions of smartphones, creating intangible equity for the name she associates with. Behind her appearance is a venture in perception. Her face is becoming a premium visual asset, and every public appearance transfers something into the balance sheets of brands. Inside the car ride from Changi to a discreet hotel, speculation swirled. Why Singapore? Why now? And why would Frédéric Arnault, a figure so rarely seen with headlines, be tied to this moment? Many point out that in the last year, the partnership between LVMH and Formula One accelerated. Louis Vuitton hosted gala dinners at Grand Prix circuits, and F1 events have become prestige marketing stages for luxury brands. Could this alignment, Lisa, Louis Vuitton, F1 Arnault, be something far greater than a fan theory? Earlier this year, Lisa was spotted at the Miami Grand Prix wearing subdued elegance, chatting with motorsport figures. That moment quietly passed for many, but those watching the luxury landscape took note. Now Singapore emerges as the next act in that unfolding play. If Miami was a teaser, Singapore might reveal the whole strategy. As night fell over the Lion City, speculation turned to verification. A video clip surfaced of Lisa and a man resembling Frédéric stepping from a private vehicle. The lighting was poor, but the composition was artful. Some fans zoomed, some dismissed it. But for those who pay attention to marketing signals, that frame is worth more than a billboard campaign. Because with icons like Lisa, the value isn't just fashion, it's optics, attention, association. Let's pause for a moment. Think about how luxury brands work. They don't just sell goods, they sell experiences, narratives, emotional ownership. Lisa's image at LV SS26 already generated headlines that outperformed many ad campaigns. The shift of that narrative to Singapore, combined with a name like Frédéric Arnault, is a statement, a subtle repositioning of prestige, digital influence, and cross-industry ambition. Now here's where things get dangerously intriguing. Sources whisper that there's a meeting tonight, one not just of cameras and fans, but of strategy. If she's in Singapore during F1, could she be negotiating a collaboration? Co-designed capsule collection tied to race weekend? Or perhaps engaging in media partnerships that tie her digital influence to sporting prestige? Imagine, every clip of her walking through sponsor paddocks becomes a billboard, every outfit pixel a press release, every glance a marketing thesis. Midway through this journey, we have to ask, is this trip a stunt or a pivot? 'Cause in the luxury game, the difference between a stunt and a pivot is execution. A stunt dies in headlines. A pivot shapes perception for years. If Lisa's arrival in Singapore is a pivot, then we're witnessing the evolution of celebrity as a strategic asset in luxury and entertainment. Later tonight, wait for a possible reveal. Might she appear at the F1 paddock or attend a gala? That's the cliffhanger. Because what happens next could turn this from rumor into corporate strategy. And once that line is crossed, the narrative locks in. As dawn approaches over the Marina Bay skyline, realize this: the journey from Paris to Singapore is more than distance. It's bridging cultural capitals, fashion capitals, and fan capitals. Lisa's presence here doesn't just bridge geography, it bridges industries. She goes from being a global superstar to being a core axis in the architecture of luxury, motorsport, and modern influence. Every time we see her, we're watching a deliberate positioning. For fans, you feel pride, connection, energy. For marketers, this moment becomes a case study in narrative leverage. For brands and entrepreneurs, it's a blueprint. Invest not just in products, but in people who amplify everything they touch. And yes, her role as ambassador for Louis Vuitton means every move she makes is under the brand's radar. Her partnership with LVMH, seen earlier in campaign launches and gala appearances, now seems to be pushing into arenas beyond fashion, into the spectacle economy of global sport and entertainment. But the real story, the one hidden beneath the flashes of cameras and roar of engines, isn't about a celebrity sighting. It's about power moves disguised as elegance. Lisa's quiet flight from Paris to Singapore wasn't random timing. It was chess, not checkers. Think about it, Louis Vuitton SS26 just redefined the tone of the fashion world. And before the dust even settles, Lisa shifts continents to land exactly where LVMH's next play is being staged. The Formula One Grand Prix, one of the most lucrative brand ecosystems on Earth. This is what industry insiders call attention arbitrage. When you hold global attention from one major event, you don't let it fade, you redirect it. That's exactly what's happening here. Lisa's arrival isn't just a continuation of Paris Fashion Week's energy. It's the transfer of that energy into a completely different market: motorsport, technology, and luxury hospitality. And who better to understand that than Frédéric Arnault? His reputation in luxury innovation isn't built on loud moves but precise timing. He's known for merging digital engagement with classic heritage, the formula that keeps Louis Vuitton and its sister brands at the top of cultural relevance. If he's in Singapore at the same time as Lisa, this isn't coincidence. It's timing aligned with purpose. Imagine what a quiet meeting between the two could represent. Lisa, a global ambassador of modern luxury, commanding billions of impressions with one appearance. Frederic, a strategist raised in the empire of LVMH, learning the language of legacy and the mathematics of influence. Together, they don't just represent collaboration. They represent evolution, the point where fashion, entertainment, and elite experiences blend into one global narrative. And here's the catch most people miss: LVMH's growing footprint in motorsport. From Tag Heuer's deep ties with Formula One to Moët and Chandon sponsoring the podium champagne moments, this empire doesn't invest for glamour. It invests for visibility, precision, and dominance. Lisa Manaband's presence, as the Louis Vuitton Global Ambassador, could be the missing piece that turns Formula One into the next luxury culture playground. Now, think from a business lens for a second. Formula One isn't just a sport. It's a marketing machine. Billions in sponsorships, broadcast rights, hospitality, and digital reach. For LVMH, partnering deeper with F1 through brand ambassadors like Lisa could unlock a new form of content-driven luxury exposure. Every second of her being filmed in that environment becomes brand equity, turning lifestyle into media and media into money. And here's where the narrative hooks deep. The rumors swirling online aren't just fan fantasy. They're data points in a larger marketing pattern. Lisa's moves are mirrored by LVMH's portfolio expansion into lifestyle experiences, from yachting to racing to fashion. Each crossover she makes reinforces her position not only as a global superstar, but as a symbolic shareholder of modern prestige. When she steps into that paddock, she's not just attending. She's merging two audiences, the pop culture generation and the luxury heritage crowd. That intersection is where brand gold is made. That's where narratives multiply and RPMs, not just in engines but in ad revenue, skyrocket. By this point in the story, it's clear. Lisa's journey from Louis Vuitton's runway in Paris to the F1 circuit in Singapore is more than travel. It's transition. It's how modern influence operates, fast, calculated, and flawlessly executed. She isn't chasing the moment, she is the moment. But what makes this truly fascinating is how naturally it all flows. Lisa doesn't need a press release to break the internet. Her silence, her movements, her visual presence, that's her marketing. And in the luxury industry, the rarest commodity is not noise, it's mystery. So as the weekend unfolds in Singapore, and as fans refresh their feeds for every sighting, remember this: every whisper, every blurred photo, every maybe is part of the allure. Keeps engagement alive, speculation high, and value soaring. She appears at F1 even for a few seconds, the impact will outlast the race itself. 'Cause Lisa Manobal doesn't just attend events, she transforms them into cultural statements. And maybe, just maybe, this is what Frédéric Arnault wanted all along. To take the essence of luxury, exclusivity, timing, storytelling, and personify it through someone who represents the global era better than anyone else. Stay alert, because if this collaboration deepens, if Lisa becomes the face of luxury in motion, then we're not just seeing a partnership. We're witnessing the next chapter of how empires are built in the 21st century, through influence, precision, and emotional connection. So keep watching. Because when the lights go out on the Singapore circuit, the real race, the one between legacy and innovation, is only just beginning. So when the morning sun reveals more, when we see which appearances she graces, which doors she walks through, understand this: we're not just watching celebrity, we're watching a new architecture of prestige. The question we opened with echoes. After Louis Vuitton SS26, was this trip just a coincidence, or the next phase of a billion-dollar move? If you're watching this, don't scroll away. Stay in the moment. Clip what matters, share what surprises you, and subscribe, because what's coming next might just rewrite luxury in motion.